Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. 5 seconds, 3 seconds. Here we go. Hey everybody, what's going on? Good afternoon. This is hashtag TNT JoeFi, tech news that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. Good afternoon to people in the Midwest and on the East Coast. Good morning to people on the West Coast, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone else around the world. This is episode something. I lost count because quarantine. No, I lost count because I just lost count. And then this is day number something in quarantine because I lost count of what day we are in quarantine. Anyway, guys, welcome. How's it going? We have some tech to go over today. We don't have a ton of tech today, but we'll try to go over anything that you guys might have in chat, anything that you guys want to talk about as well, and just whatever will cover the hour. So yeah, let's get started. Let me, I see Y 2019 with the hi. Hi, Y. How's it going? Nice to see you in here as always. And I also see Paul Hendricks in here as well. Present. You have a present for me, Paul? Oh, you're presently here. Hi, Paul. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. Tech for Your Needs is here as well. Hello, folks. Hey, Tech for Your Needs. Nice to see you again, man. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Happy, what's today? Today's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. So today, again, we don't have a ton of stuff, but I have a couple stories, and we'll see how this hour goes. If you guys want to talk about anything specific in chat, please let me know. We can have a discussion. You guys can always engage with each other in chat as well. Tectonic is here as well. Yes, Tectonic. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. All right, let's get started. Let's talk about this Red Magic 5G. Do any of you, I don't know how many of you are even looking for a phone like this. This is more of a gaming phone, and it's kind of titled as such from SlashGear. Red Magic 5G review, more gamer now than phone. I don't know many people. I don't know many people. Actually, I don't know anybody. If I ask them if their phone is used primarily for gaming, I don't think anybody would tell me that. I don't know if I have a lot of friends that just game on their phone more than anything else. Um, but it's nice to see that there is a specific niche, one of the two that they make for people who might be interested in a gaming phone. Um, I see Team Varai in here as well. It's very niche, in my opinion. There you go. That's exactly you were reading my you were reading my mind, Team Varai. Hi, Jerome. Hey, everyone. Hey, Team Varai. Nice to see you, man. Glad you could make it. And then Brian is in here too. Gaming phone with good specs. Yeah. And actually a pretty decent price, I think, from what I saw. Tech for Your Needs says Taco Tuesday. Today is I get to break my fast today, and tacos sound really good. Although I don't know if I'm gonna have tacos. We'll see. All right. So Brian also says, "What up, everyone? What up, Brian? Welcome to the stream, man. Nice to see you." So let's get into this article. Let's talk about it. Let's maybe discuss things that we don't know about this phone. I don't know much about this phone, but there is a transparent version of this phone, which looks pretty cool. But we'll get into that after I read through this review. So the editor's rating from SlashGear got an 8 out of 10, which is what phone did I talk about yesterday that got reviewed? The Sony Xperia 1 Mark II from who reviewed that? Wired gave it an 8 of 10. This phone got an 8 of 10, which is actually really surprising because I would think for a gaming phone, it has a couple of things that most people aren't looking for and gets a lower score. But so it says here, interesting additions, changes to Android, hardware switch launcher for game space remains unique. I have no idea what this is, and I'd like to kind of read into that. Fan truly seems to keep phone from getting too hot. So for you guys that don't know, it has a cooling feature. It has a live fan inside the phone. I think I saw MKBHD. I don't know if he reviewed the phone or just kind of gave an overview. I think I watched part of it. But it's pretty cool to know that it has a fan in the phone. As somebody who has, who builds PCs, that is, I don't know, it just seems like a cool feature that has been crossed over into the smartphone space. Anyway, camera is decent, generally usable, and I'm guessing that's probably its biggest hiccup. Decent stereo speaker system. Cons say should include protective case by default. That's kind of a weird con for me. No wireless charging, and price only makes sense after extensive use. Well, okay. I thought this was priced cheaper. Well, anyway, let's read about it. So the gaming phone Red Magic 5G is effectively a collection of the most interesting gaming technology yet offered on a phone jammed in the body of a very optimistic handset. This device feels like it was made by a company that had the opportunity to take chances, unlike other devices I'd classify as niche. The Red Magic 5G includes features that I would not expect on a device that's priced this relatively low. So it's weird that they're already kind of knocking on the price, but then he has a statement here that says, I would not expect on a device that's priced this relatively low. I just don't know where he's going with it. So the display, and I think this has a pretty good display from what I've read or what we've read in the past. So the display on this the display on this device is very nice. It's rolling with a 144 hertz image refresh rate, which means it should be smoother than basically any other smartphone on Earth today. I still haven't I still haven't had a chance to test a phone with 120 hertz refresh rate yet. While I found the display to be too intense at first glance, screen display preferences were easy to locate in the phone's settings, and my preferred mode made the display color and intensity feel entirely on point. Screen display preferences allow the user to slide between cool, natural, and warm, with plenty of stops between the extremes. This panel also allows the user to choose between normal mode, colorful mode, and natural mode. So for someone like me, I would almost always pick natural mode. I don't remember any time I have picked a display outside of anything than natural, or basic, or whatever that specific setting is on the display. These options flip between DCI-P3 for normal and colorful modes, and sRGB for natural mode. And that's usually what I keep it on, sRGB. I was disappointed by the extreme curvature of the corners of the display panel. If you're used to such extreme roundness of corners, you may not be bothered, but for my money, I'd much rather err on the side of sharpness. Is he talking about the curves like right here, instead of having it like a flat rectangular? Because I would rather have that too. This curved, and I feel like my corners are being clipped for no good reason. And yes, that's exactly how I feel. I feel like you're clipping the corners there. It would be like the monitor that I'm looking at right now if the monitors were curved instead of it's like you're taking a screen display away from me. I appreciated that the display was flat, so thank God the display is flat, and it doesn't curve around the edges. Especially since we're here primarily to play games. If I'm going to be paying for a phone specifically because it's made for games, I'd really rather not have the display running over the edge of the phone, just because it makes the device feel more extravagant. And that is a fair point. In addition to 144 hertz image refresh rate, this phone has 240 hertz touch sensing, aka 240 hertz touch refresh rate. That means it processes touch interaction with the display touch panel significantly more times per second than it does display individual image frames. This isn't uncommon, but the high rate of touch sensing is rare and great if you're looking to have the best possible touchscreen for mobile game interaction on the market today. I don't know if I've had anything with a display that high end. 144 hertz refresh rate and a 240 hertz touch touch sensing. Wasn't it touch sample? Yeah, there you go. It says here the ROG Phone 2 had a 120 hertz image refresh rate and 240 hertz touch sample rate, and the iPhone 11 Pro has a 60 hertz image refresh rate with 120 hertz touch sample rate. And then the S20 Ultra has a potential 120 hertz image refresh rate with 240 hertz touch sample rate. Yeah, so this one is the highest of the high, I guess, at this point, with 144 hertz image refresh rate. All right, let's continue on. The Red Magic 5G has a very slippery backside. If you buy this phone, do yourself a favor and buy a case, or at least some sort of accessory that allows you to grip it more than the phone itself allows. The phone slipped out of my hand at least a dozen times. It's that slippery, and off the counter tens of times, down to a safe landing on carpet, thankfully. I don't like carpet. Just FYI, I'm a hardwood floors guy. The buttons are pretty great for the very few. I only say that because I think they're gross, and I think hardwood floors look awesome. All my apartments have been nothing but hardwood floors. We're completely going off topic. I'm completely going off topic. So buttons are pretty great. They've been relatively easy to get used to using at first, then invaluable. I imagine I'd still rather have physical buttons to press down, but that's likely primarily because the only other buttons I use that are anything like these are otherwise physical. Much like most of the elements that make this phone unique or otherwise push it ahead of the rest of the pack, I don't think I really need the buttons, but once I've had them in my life, I can't imagine going back. So a rotating fan for cooling, I don't know. It's just cool to have something different on a phone. We're used to seeing the same kind of, I guess, well, I mean, it still has the same shape, right? But the fact that I don't know, there's just something different about it is kind of appealing to me. Which is also why I like different colors, because I don't know. I get tired of like the same shit all the time. So much like its predecessor, the Red Magic 5G has its own cooling vents through which air can flow out of the device thanks to an active rotating fan. As we're aware and can confirm thanks to intrepid teardown professionals, this device has more than one trick up its sleeve for cooling. Okay, so on top of the main processor in the smartphone is thermal foam covered with heat shields, covered in turn by copper thermal tape. I don't think I don't think any other company does anything relatively close to thermal foam, heat shields, or copper thermal tape. I really don't. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing, maybe that's a standard in other phones, but I seriously don't think so. And then there's a black metal thermal channel which runs through the phone from one end to the other with air moved by the phone's fan. Oh, I think that's pretty cool. This device remained cool throughout our review process, with the notable exception of the point at which we opted to keep the fan off while running some intense game streaming with Google Stadia on the phone's display at highest possible brightness and refresh rate. So we know the fan works when we decide to use it, which is pretty cool. There's a bright red switch on the side of the phone that activates what Red Magic called game space. Huh. Just as it was with this phone's predecessor, this switch and the space it reveals makes the phone feel like more than a phone, because the switch activates this space with games, and the gaming phone feels like more than just a concept. I'm still confused how this works. The system's advanced beyond what we saw with the Red Magic 3, including systems like aiming assist that places a crosshair above your gaming app on your screen, and 4D shock. Unfortunately, the 4D element only works for a few games at the moment, not quite as widespread as it was with the Red Magic 3. Again, I'm not exactly sure what that game space, just as it was with this phone's predecessor, this switch and the space it reveals makes the phone. Oh, so like when you open that switch, it brings up this whole area here. Oh, that's what I'm guessing it's doing, right? Am I, if you guys know, if I'm mistaken, please let me know. If you're looking to use this device whilst connected to Wi-Fi here in the USA, you're going to be in good shape. So it has 5G. Oh, no, it doesn't. If you're looking for full 5G coverage, this isn't it. Not in the US. Here you've got sub 6 gig 5G, so sub 6 gigahertz 5G. So it's not going to get what millimeter wave, I'm guessing. And then it talks about the LTE bands. If you have questions about whether this device will work on your carrier of choice, it'd be best to call and ask. Since the Red Magic 5G wasn't optimized for any network here in the US, you take the same chance you take with any phone in a similar predicament. No carrier will guarantee coverage quality with a device that's not been specifically planned for by said carrier. I mean, you know what? I guess as somebody that isn't a gamer, it isn't the biggest deal to me if it's not using Verizon's millimeter wave, if it's not really taking advantage of the best 5G at this point. Because again, it's probably still too early for that, but it's nice to see that companies are trying to give the fastest speeds possible, especially when it comes to a gaming phone, if you're using it to play online, which most people are at this point. I mean, I play video games online, but it's only online competitive play that I play at this point. I don't play any other games unless it's like some kind of online competitive play. Such is the plight of any smartphone that's not already teamed up with a carrier in the US right now, but duly so when it comes to 5G coverage. Look at the OnePlus 7T Pro 5G McLaren with T-Mobile USA. That's a very long name to say. And you'll see how confusing this game of brands can be. So as far as the cameras, and I'm assuming, again, this is probably where its hiccup is. It's difficult to find a reason why one would need a set of cameras any more capable than these on a device that's supposed to be aimed primarily at gamers. But if we're assuming that a person would use this device as their primary smartphone, and like all people that own a smartphone, they've got the occasional reason to snap a photo, we've got an at least basic set of expectations for the quality of the device sets of cameras. Have any of you guys in chat ever owned a gaming, primarily gaming based phone? I'm just curious. What are the other ones like the Asus ROG? And then, well, I know Lenovo is working on something, but yeah, I don't I'm just curious. Here you'll see some examples of photos captured with the back-facing camera array on the Red Magic 5G. The front-facing camera is basic at least, or at best. So again, not the best camera. It'll snap a photo for you to send a friend on Snapchat, but it won't likely capture any award-winning shots. I mean, they're not bad, right? And I'm sure they're totally doable in bright enough light. I mean, I don't think most people would notice. That's actually really good when it comes in terms of detail. The detail on that isn't bad either. They're not awful. Exposure is a little dark in some shots, but it's not bad. So the Red Magic 5G has a 4,500 milliamp hour battery, so pretty big battery. Obviously, it probably needs one, especially with the high tech display or the high refresh rate, high touch sampling rate, et cetera, et cetera. So 4,500 milliamp hour battery. And then it only has, so an 18 watt wall power adapter, and it supports 55 watt fast charging, but only if you get an optional charger to make it happen. And who knows how much those would be. I haven't seen how much those fast chargers are, but if I'm not mistaken, isn't the one for the OnePlus 8 Pro like, wait, no, that's wireless. Yeah, so maybe a wired one for that fast, maybe it's not as much at this point. I haven't kept up to date with that because I don't have a phone that charges that fast. Battery life depends greatly on your choice of display brightness and image refresh rate. If you got all elements turned up to max power and play the most demanding game you've got available, you'll be able to run this battery from full to empty in a matter of hours. I wish they said how many hours instead of a matter of hours. Is it 3 hours? Is it 5 hours? Because those 2 hours make a difference when you're not plugged in. Using this device with conservative settings, and it'll last you well over a standard 12-hour day. Well, I need a phone that lasts more than 12 hours. I'll tell you that much. Lights. Oh yeah, that's right. That's another unique feature of these kind of phones, right? Because again, like for someone like me that has like you can't hear it. You see my camera shaking. I'm like knocking on it like you'd hear it. Is my PC, and building it from scratch. I take pride in my build, and it does have some lights and whatever on it. And I don't know. I guess it's just cool to see a phone have that. So this is a Red Magic smartphone. So it has LED lights. On the back of the phone, you'll find a light up text logo, Red Magic, and a separate light up logo mark. They're both controlled separately, and they're nothing if not interesting to behold. I'm not going to lie. I would probably keep those lights on, especially just to show off. Be like, yeah, my phone has lights in the back. Does yours? No. Let's see here. Since they're on the back of the phone, it's sort of like a light up logo on the back of a laptop. So it's like a flourish. Yeah. Why wouldn't you? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I would keep it on. Is the Red Magic 5G smartphone worth the amount of cash you'll pay for it here in the summer of 2020? It really depends on what your values are. If you absolutely positively must have a smartphone with a 144 hertz image refresh rate, this is currently your best bet. You could also look into the iQOO Z1 5G, but we've got no hand-on experience with that brand whatsoever, so cannot attest to quality. The Nubia Play 5G with its 6.65-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display, 144 hertz image refresh rate, and Qualcomm 765G. Shoulder triggers, it's very, very similar to the Red Magic 5G. So slightly less powerful processor, slightly. I think that's a big difference when you're comparing it to an 865. So they're just talking about the competition here. I'm not going to go through all of that. If you're looking to buy the Red Magic 5G in the summer of 2020, you'll be paying a price of at least $579, which I think is a pretty fair price for everything that this phone includes. 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage, $649 for 12 gigs of RAM, and 256 gigs of internal storage. So there's other versions as well. Why did they not talk about its other performance specs? Right, this is a Snap 865. Did I not go over that, or did they not say that on here at all? No, I'm pretty sure it has an 865 chipset. It's just weird they didn't list the other specs to it. But if it is an 865 at $600, I think that's a pretty fair deal. Let me actually move on to this transparent version, because I want to get into that before I get into chat. But this article from GSM Arena kind of continues on with it and says the Red Magic 5G Transparent Edition demos its fan on video, and it has it says here 16 gig version stock incoming. So I don't know if that means only the transparent version is going to have 16 gigs of RAM, or if they're making another version with 16 gigs. I guess we'll find out. The transparent edition of the Nubia Red Magic 5G went on sale May 31st and sold out fairly quickly. This video shows what you're missing out if you didn't get one. I actually want to take a look. I haven't had a chance to see this. The transparent back panel and the pulsing LED really gives it that quote gaming PC look. Also, this is one of very few phones to feature an integrated fan for cooling. You can see that demoed in the video with a piece of dry ice. Of course, the transparent back makes it possible to see the smoke make its way through the phone. A really cool visual, guys. I don't know if there's audio, but I'm going to mute it, because if I don't, they'll probably give me a copyright, whatever, which I guess doesn't matter at this point. Just FYI, guys, for the last, I think, 3 weeks, every single one of my streams gets demonetized after it gets put out again. I don't know what the fuck YouTube is doing, if they're demonetizing me because I say fuck once. Now I said it twice, but it's very annoying because it hampers on just trying to do this stuff. But whatever, it's another story. Anyway, I'm not going to have the audio on. So I haven't watched this yet. I like the transparent look to it, and you see it pulsing here. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's an 865. It says Snap 865. I think that's a pretty good price for $600. If this tipped the scales for you, you'll be happy to hear that Nubia is preparing a new batch of Red Magic 5G units that will be available on JD.com on June 14 from 10 local time. The retailer will be stocking the top of the line model with 16 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. This version costs CNY 5,200. Is that yuan? I'm guessing, compared to CNY 4,600. I don't know what that price is at. I'm assuming because this is the transparent edition, it's probably going to cost more. So it's probably more than the $600 price point, I'm guessing. Plus it also has 16 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. But imagine if this was still even around $700. That's about the price of a OnePlus 8. But then again, would you rather buy this or would you buy a OnePlus 8? But the OnePlus 8 doesn't even have 16 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of internal storage, does it? Or at least the $700 version, I don't think it does. Then all of the cool lights and the cooling fan. I don't know. Maybe I've just gotten so bored of regular phones that I actually find this really appealing. And you can also break it up into monthly installments, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I don't know. It seems kind of cool. That's kind of why I wanted to talk about it. It's different and it's not something we typically see. Is it for everybody? No, obviously not. But it seems pretty cool for what it is. If I had money to blow, I would definitely test it out, but whatever. Okay. So, I see a super chat here from Levin Williams. Levin, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Thank you for the support on the grind, but want to show my support. Levin, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Always means so much to me. Thank you for being a continued supporter, especially for a good period of time. I always see you come in and stop by and you'll drop a super chat or, show a little support. So appreciate it, Levin. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and go back up to chat here, see what you guys are talking about as well. Okay, so Team Verizon says, I game a lot on mobile, mostly single player ports. I don't know what that game is. Dead Cells. Oh, I remember Dead Cells. I like that game. Is it Dead Cells or Dead Cell? No, Dead Cells, right? But the Pixel 3a is good enough for me, but I understand why some people might enjoy specially designed devices like this. Yeah, and I don't know, maybe it's weird for me to say, not weird, but this probably appeals to maybe an even younger demographic, right? People who are like 10 years old to like 16 or something. or just hardcore gamers in general. Maybe this is what they're looking for instead. When I went to San Diego, my cousin who lives there, I was really surprised. He had a red phone. A red phone. Yeah, right. Is it Red that makes, so not Red Magic, the company that makes like the high-end cameras, it's Red, right? He had that, and I'm like, who? It was like out of left field, and I've never seen one before. But yeah, I mean, sometimes people just want something different. They want to stand out, and this might be their way of doing it. Okay, so let's see here. Let me scroll down. Sorry, guys, I'm not going to be able to go through everything. So Brian says the ports are the best. Are you talking about the fan? I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Oh, you guys are talking about porting of games. Never mind. Yeah, you guys are talking in something else. I have no idea. Curves in phones are cancer. Yeah, I do not care for curves at all. Give me the full display. Don't curve the display on the screen either. That's always prone for accidental touches, and I just can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. All right, let me scroll down here. Jerome, for all your interior tips, I have pretty decent style, I think. Even when it comes to some kind of interior decorating. But yeah. Team Bryce says, speaking of gaming phones, whatever happened to the Razer ones? They released 2 models and kind of faded out of the fanfare. That's a good point. I haven't heard from them in a while. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just realized it wasn't making a ton of money, but now other companies are kind of like putting their foot in, or getting their foot in the door and trying to at least compete. Deepak Murthy. Hey, Jerome. Hey, Deepak. What's going on? I was trying to wave and then I noticed it wasn't on the screen. Hi, Deepak. There you go. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again. Always nice to have you on here. Let's see. Let me scroll down. Tech for Your Needs says, nope, never own a gaming phone. And then Vazikos. Hey, Vazikos, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again. Welcome back. I can see myself going for a Legion phone. If you guys don't know what a Legion phone is, I believe that's a Lenovo phone, right? They're calling it a Legion phone. And what's different about that is that phone, I think, is made specifically for landscape mode. So even it has a selfie pop-up camera, but it's not on the top. So I'm just grabbing a phone here. Sorry, didn't mean to mess up the audio. So instead of the pop-up camera coming up here, it actually comes up here, like in the middle of, and I guess what they were assuming is it's made that way because it's made for landscape. So if you want to stream, you can stream that way instead. And I don't know, again, it's different. Not everyone's going to do it. And you know, it's nice to have another company do something completely different than what you're seeing every day from other phones. Tectonic says, I just want a big battery. Me too. I feel like at this point, all phones should have a pretty big battery to make sure that we get at least a day and a half out of our phones. Is that going to happen with future phones? I don't know. I really don't know. Deepak Murthy says it looks like a gaming laptop. Yeah, that's probably what they're trying to get at or trying to go for. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, for the price, I don't think it's bad, especially if someone's looking for a phone with, you know, the latest and greatest 865 chipset. It might not be bad. I mean, it has a big battery. I think the only sacrifice there is the camera, and I mean, it's not going to be stock Android either. So I don't know. All right, guys, let's move on. I have this article about the OnePlus 8, the OnePlus 8 Pro. And I talked about this yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to touch upon it. But so this article from Android Community is talking about how the OnePlus 8 Pro is getting high scores in DxOMark. And I talked about this because apparently these scores for the OnePlus 8 Pro it did beat the Galaxy S20. I don't know if it beat the Galaxy S20 Ultra. I don't keep up with DxOMark. I don't really use that as like, and I've said this before, I don't use it as a Bible, right? For me, the best experience or the best way I can tell which phone has a better camera is just for me to test it myself. But to see, you know, I'm not saying don't discredit DxOMark. Although I also say don't use it as like the be all end all. Use it as a baseline, as a guideline. And even seeing this made me think, well, shit, should I get a OnePlus 8 Pro to test the camera? Is it that much better than the S20 Ultra or S20 or whatever? Can it actually compete with the iPhone 11 Pro? I don't know. So reading on with this article, the OnePlus 8 and OnePlus 8 Pro were made officially last April after months of rumors and leaks. We've seen the two phones in action and even reviewed the OnePlus 8 comprehensively. The phone is said to be different yet similar to the Pro variant. We've also seen the durability test by Jerry Rig Everything. There have been a number of issues like the color filter camera, seeing through objects. Okay, first of all, I don't like when that's not you don't use that as an issue. That's again, that plastic is made transparent. Yeah, the color filter has that, I don't know, it has that benefit, I guess, if you want to call it that. It's not the biggest deal in the world. Why is it an issue? And of all the issues that they pick for the OnePlus 8 and OnePlus 8 Pro, they're going to pick that the color filter is seeing through black transparent plastic. I don't know. Come on. It has since been removed with the release of a software update. Unfortunately, another issue has been reported recently, and that's the phone not being able to play Netflix in HD quality. So if you want to bring up an issue, bring up that issue instead. We're not sure what's happening to the OnePlus 8 Pro, but the phone has already hit DxO mark. It scored whatever numbers. It doesn't really matter to me. Putting it number 7 in the ranking behind the Xiaomi Mi CC9 Pro Premium Edition and the Huawei Mate 30 Pro. The OnePlus 8 Pro's color filter camera has been disabled, but we believe the camera system is still good. First of all, the color filter camera isn't the main shooter on there. So this is not even a point of contention. It's such a, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like these people writing are not picking the right points, but you know what? Whatever. Numbers, a bunch of like tech stuff here that we're not really going to get into. I just want to read about how good these cameras are. The results of the review tell us the OnePlus 8 Pro offers images with good detail, low noise, and accurate exposure. It also delivers fast and reliable autofocus. All great things. You may also notice low noise and high detail when using flash. I don't use flash. Do you guys use flash? I never use it. Ever. Never, ever use it. When taking ultra wide shots, the only time I use flash is to use the flashlight. That's the only time I ever use it. When I wake up in the middle of the night and I have to go pee and it's dark and I don't want to step on something that I shouldn't be stepping on. Videos recorded I know I go off topic a lot. This is going to start probably happening more often than not. The more comfortable I get streaming and just talking about whatever. Videos recorded may show well-preserved detail, effective stabilization, accurate and pleasant color, and right target exposure plus wide dynamic range. It's not all great, as photos may show slight underexposure. I have a opinion about slight underexposure. I'm not. For me, I would rather have a photo that slightly underexposes than overexposes even slightly. It is easier to brighten up a shot than to dim a shot that is a bit overexposed. Take that from somebody who edits photos all day. Even when I shoot with my DS, oh shit, it's not there. Oh, it's because it's standing on the tripod I was filming yesterday on my other channel. When I shoot photos in manual mode, I will always slightly underexpose the shot on purpose, so that it doesn't overexpose, but also so that it captures detail that I can brighten up later in post. When I say post, I mean in the editing process. But again, we're talking about smartphone shots, and so maybe you're not editing it anyway, and you just want to send it off right away. And maybe that slight overexposure isn't a big deal. So, but I'm giving you my opinion, just FYI. So let's see here. Noise in night shots. Okay, so that's not a good thing. Nobody wants noise in night shots. And white balance casts outdoors. So I don't know what's wrong with the white balance that it's talking about. There's some minor highlight clipping in most challenging scenes, and that could be because of Well, yeah, I was going to say sometimes that's usually overexposure, but so highlight clipping, ultra wide shots may show fringing and ringing artifacts. Yeah, when taking videos, results may show visible temporal noise and slight autofocus instabilities. I don't know what they mean by visible temporal noise. I don't know. Maybe that's something I have to look at. There may be aliasing, and more visible. More. I don't even again, so like, yeah, am I a photographer? Yes, I take photos, but I also am not like, I'm pretty technical, but again, I don't know everything, and I'm also not like a snob when it comes to photos and shooting. So it's not, I don't know everything. Um, anyway, plus slightly low shadow exposure in HDR scenes, and I think that's it when it comes to the article. So, but it speaks highly of the OnePlus 8 Pro if it's ranking in the top 10. Again, don't take DxOMark as, the Bible for what the best camera is, but to see it rank high makes me wonder, like, hey, maybe the camera really is improved this time, and maybe I would be happy if I tested it. Makes me want to test it, actually. I just don't want to fork out the money. All right, let me get back into chat here. You guys are asking each other questions, which is great. Kyle Brass says, just watched the DxO video on that earlier, went against the iPhone 11 Pro and Huawei P40 Pro. Watching on a 4K TV gave real good perspective, but the new camera tech is really good. That's great. I love hearing that. Kyle, in your opinion, when you watch that video, I mean, I know that they probably gave you examples and you saw, and they told you what the inaccuracies were or the inconsistencies, but when you watched it and you saw the pictures of the OnePlus 8 Pro, were there any shots that you looked at and you said to yourself, hey, that looks better than what that shot turned out to be on the iPhone 11 Pro, or that looked better than what the Huawei P40 Pro showed, or is it not even on the same level? Like, I guess my question is does the OnePlus 8 Pro even hold a candle to the iPhone 11 Pro or this Huawei P40 Pro, which I have no idea how good that is. All I know lately is everyone keeps telling me Huawei's make great cameras and I should really test one out. Yeah, Deepak Murthy says, in fact, Pixel phones slightly underexposed so they don't burn the highlights. Wonderful technique. Again, yeah, and it's something I appreciate. I mean, even on a smartphone, you can easily just dial up the exposure or dial up the brightness later on if you really need to. Usually you can't do it the other way. Paul says that damn Lego scattered on Jerome's floor. Viziko says it's sad that DxO doesn't measure raw DNG performance. Oh, I didn't even know that. I had no idea. I had no idea that they didn't do it. So it's just straight. It's just straight auto shooting. Which again, like for me, that's how I shoot anyway. But you would think that a company like DxOMark would maybe at least test that out and then give good examples or opinions for people who are looking to shoot just in RAW, right? I mean, yeah. Okay, so let me see here. Hopkins, hey Hopkins, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. DxO is irrelevant in my opinion. Yeah, so like I feel again similarly. The way I feel about any kind of tech stuff. I mean, even my stuff, guys, even stuff you watch from me, like I love that you guys value my opinion, and I try to be as unbiased and as transparent and as honest as possible, but my experience might differ than somebody else. So again, use it as a guide, but don't take it as Bible. Don't take it as scripture. Is that the term? I don't, whatever. Where the Galaxy S10 or Huawei P30 Pro outperforms Pixel 4, I cannot take that seriously. There you go. And I totally hear you. Deepak says more is when you see wavy lines on clothing and other surfaces. Oh, okay. I don't know if I've had that issue on my DSLR. I'm sure I have, and maybe it's just something I didn't notice. Thank you for sharing that. I also, am I pronouncing it right? Is it more? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Tech PhD, hey man, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Glad to see you back. DxO lost some of its credibility to me when they started giving scores of more than 100. Wasn't there a whole article about it, about how like it was never meant to be at 100 anyway? That it's based on some other I don't know. I don't know how they score that kind of stuff. And it is kind of weird. It doesn't really, it really, I don't know. I think once it went over 100, I think it threw a lot of people off because people were looking at 100 as, the very best. And then I guess when they started showing scores above 100, then it's like, oh, okay. Now it's just a numbers thing. And I think that's how a lot of people see it. Kyle Brass says iPhone overexposes in a lot of still shots, and OnePlus 8 Pro looks better in most situations to me. Huawei has set a new standard, and I'm seeing both phones struggle to keep with the P40 Pro. That's actually, I mean, that's a big statement. And I feel like you're not the only one that says that either about the Huawei phones. And what the P40 Pro is their newest one, right? And I've never, other than my Nexus 6P, I've owned no other Huawei's. And I would really love to test one out. I know Grant, who does come and chat here once in a while, has told me to take a look at least the P30, because he says those are pretty comparable and you could still get a P30 at a fair price. I would have to take a look, but Kyle, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see here. Paul says a factor, not the defining factor. I think I got lost somewhere. I'm not sure. And Brian, with the $1 super chat. Brian, thank you, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for going the extra mile and supporting me, for a long ass time. For you guys that don't know, Brian has been supporting for a while, and he has continued his streak of super chats, which is, I don't know, in the high 50s or 60 streams in a row. So Brian, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the continued support. Always appreciate it. Thank you for being a moderator and, engaging with people in the chat and making sure everything is on the up and up. So again, Brian, thank you so much. Okay. Let me see here. Brian says DxO is like the NBA dunk contest. Some perfect scores are better than others. There you go. Deepak says P30 Pro had a yellow tint because it used an RYYB sensor, not the usual RGB. Oh, I didn't know that either. And actually, that's a technical aspect I wasn't aware of, and not one that I know much about as well. Okay, guys. So real quick, we are, 3/4 of the way in. I forgot to add this in here, but guys, for anyone who's watching, please feel free to like the video. Liking the video helps me in an algorithmic kind of way, aka I think it helps people find the stream. It helps people engage in chat. If you guys are watching, feel free to say hi. We have a really good community. I think we engage in actual conversation, not just like bullshit team Android, team Apple kind of shit, or whatever. So feel free to do that. And for anyone who is new, I do also stream Mondays through Fridays. So if you want to get notified of that, feel free to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Would always appreciate new subscribers. And here's the thing too. Here's something I want to share with you guys. This is something I haven't shared with you. Today I started the stream promptly at 2 p.m. Central. That is my new time at this point. I will be streaming at the same time every weekday from here on out. That is my goal for no question. Like my goal now is to be punctual on time. So you guys know that I will be streaming at this time every weekday indefinitely. If I am late on that, I will do something special. I don't know what the fuck I'll do, but I'll do something special. So 2 p.m. Central, always, if you guys aren't aware, that's 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, or 12 p.m. Pacific in California. And then I'm sorry, guys, I don't know the rest of the times around the world, but, yeah, so if you're not a subscriber, feel free to subscribe. And last but not least, if you see people in the chat with green in their name, if you see a red Chicago star next to their name, that is because they are a member of the team. Sorry, I fucked that up. They're a member of the Phone Jerome fam. Phone Jerome squad, community, whatever. And you can be one too for as little as 99 cents a month, guys. It's just a way to support me. And these are some of the perks that come with it. You'll get the green in your name. You get the red Chicago star badge. You'll get to use custom emoji. Actually, I have another emoji that I have to add in there. And you'll get your name on the intros and outros of every single one of my live streams. But again, don't feel obligated. That's just a way you can help. You can click that join button if you want to do that. Or if you can't can't find that join button, just go to youtube.com/phone Jerome/join. Either way, like I said, I appreciate any kind of support. You guys just coming in, liking, chatting in the chat stream, subscribing, any of that stuff is always appreciated. So that is my little marketing thing, and we will continue on with the news. Let me get that banner out of the way. All right, let's continue on. So I have news about the Pixel, I think. Is it? Oh, not the Pixel. I have news about Pixel Buds, but I see other people in chat. So let me say hi to people that I haven't seen in here before. Okay, Hopkins says OnePlus 8 Pro is on par with the iPhone 11 Pro and beats the iPhone 11 Pro in low light because of a big sensor. I have seen a good comparison on YouTube Phone Arena. Hopkins, I would love to grab that phone after you say that, because I would really like to test that out and see how it compares. And I'm not trying to like say Phone Arena doesn't know what they're doing. I just, for me personally, so I can say it with confidence, I would love to test that out. How much is a OnePlus 8 Pro? $900? God, but what about that Huawei? That one's good too. I don't know. Things to think about. I see Delpy and Waz in here, Team Android. I was just talking about not saying Team. I'm just giving you shit, man. Delpy and Waz, I don't think I've seen you in the stream before. Have I? If I have, I apologize, but welcome, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you saying hi in the chat. Always nice to see somebody new. Always nice to have other people come in here and, you know, just talk shop, talk whatever's going on. Just passing by, bro. Thanks to you. Well, appreciate you. Even if you're just passing by, thanks for stopping by. Always nice to see you know, new people in here. Deepak Murthy says big sensors will always be better. Yep, it's the rule of optics. I agree. And I see Cricket Teams in here as well. Cricket Teams, I don't think I've seen you before either. Give me one phone. I don't know. What phone do you want? Let me know. Let me know your address, your phone number, and then how you're going to pay me. And I'll give you a phone. Cricket Teams, appreciate you stopping by, man. $79.99. I have no idea what you're talking about, unless you guys are talking about something else. And then I see Mauricio Salazar Rosas. Hi from Mexico. Hey, Mauricio. I know I've seen you in here before. I don't know if you're talking like you're brand new, but I know I've seen you. Mauricio, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you stopping by. Cricket Team says, I'm new here. Well, Cricket Teams, thanks, man. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you saying what's up. You know, we have a pretty big crew of people all around the world, so appreciate you stopping by. You cool guy. Thanks. You cool too, Cricket Teams. All right, guys, let's move on. Let's talk about these Pixel Buds. The reason I want to talk about this is because there has been news lately about how the Pixel Buds have had issues with connectivity, and not something that I was expecting. People were speaking pretty highly of it, and I think it still does pretty good. But when you hear somebody having connectivity issues, that's unfortunate to hear, especially for someone like me who's had the AirPods Pro now for a while, a long while. But I will be honest with you guys. Last week, my left AirPod Pro started to crackle and have audio issues, and I still need to contact Apple and get that replaced. But yeah, but it looks like a good number of people are having issues with these Pixel Buds, and we'll talk about it. So let me scroll down. This article from 9to5 Google says, made by Google launched the second generation Pixel Buds 6 weeks ago today. Supply is still limited to the US and one color variant. Oh man, I didn't know. Oh, yeah. That's right. They have different colors, but right now I think you can only buy the white ones, I think. While some have reported audio cutouts. And that's the thing. You're buying these things like if you're low on supply of color, whatever, but man, if you're having audio cutouts, I just it's the last thing that you want from buying truly wireless earbuds. Google this afternoon emailed Pixel Buds owners to take part in an extensive survey that does ask about any issues that they may have experienced. I will ask you guys, for anyone, do you guys have Pixel Buds? I know, who is it? Maybe it was Big. No, I thought it was Levin. I think Levin might have, I don't know if Levin's in here anymore, but for anyone that has Pixel Buds, have you guys tested it out? Have any of you guys who have had it have had audio cutout issues. I know Will has them, and Will, I think, was telling me, or no, it was in the article. It was someone in the article was like, well, if I have it in my front pants pocket, it's fine. But as soon as I put it in my back pocket, it cuts out. And it's like, what? Literally, your back pocket from your front pocket is what? Like 6 inches? 8 inches? I don't know, whatever. It's not far away is the point I'm trying to get at. And you're having audio cutout issues? Like, what kind of garbage? That's nonsense right there. Anyway, so it says here, in a separate announcement, Google this afternoon said that Bluetooth connectivity fixes for Pixel Buds are coming, and I hope they come soon enough. The survey format is par for the course and something made by Google has done in the past for other hardware products. We're interested in learning more about your experience with your Google Pixel Buds. If you have time to share your thoughts, please click the link below. So I guess that they're asking about how you feel about it. Maybe they're trying to get into like it's the audio cutout. It then asks about whether you've had any problems with your Pixel Buds. This list is clearly tuned to some things people have reported over the past 6 weeks, especially static hiss noise when listening. Oh my God, nothing would piss me off more than to have issues like that. The one thing that I will say about my AirPods Pro is that before the crackling issues, it has been solid connectivity wise, audio quality wise. The only issue that I had with it was the fit didn't fit as well. They started to loosen a bit over time, but I've had those for God, I don't know, over 6 months, and this is the first time I've had an issue. I still need to get in touch with Apple and see how easy that process is to get that fixed or replaced. But as soon as I do, I will let you guys know. All right. So there are also questions about whether you use a wireless charger and what phone you're paired to, blah, blah, blah. It's just a survey. I don't know if you guys have taken it for anyone who's owned it, but really the point I'm trying to make here is this shouldn't have really been a problem. I mean, I'm saying that, and now I'm having issues with my AirPods Pro, but again, I use them exclusively and extensively, at least an hour a day for almost daily for who knows how many months. Especially since like I've been working out and like, you know, trying to lose weight and all that shit. Like I always have them in because I'm going for a walk or I'm going to the gym or whatever. And to know that, you know, these second gen Pixel Buds, like a good number of them are having issues this early it's disconcerting. It really is. All righty. So let me get back into chat here. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Sam from YouTube, all the way from Nigeria. I think that's a first. Sam from YouTube. I don't think anyone who's come in here has said they're from Nigeria. Sam from YouTube, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice you can make it. Glad to have you in here. I don't know if I've seen you before. If it's your first time, welcome. Always nice to see a new face, a new name. Appreciate it. All right. So Y 2019 says, Jerome, you should look at the Moto One Fusion Plus Y 2019. I have that as one of my articles. And actually, maybe what I'll do is I will talk about that as my last one because we're almost rounding out that hour. Cricket Team says, do you know Realme C3 Mobile? Here's the thing, Cricket Teams. The one thing that not annoys me. There are so many, so Cricket Teams, I say this all the time. There are so many brands in China that have come out that I don't know who owns who anymore. And I will try to do this off the top of my head again. Realme, Xiaomi, Vivo, Oppo, OnePlus, Poco. Who else am I missing, guys? Redmi. Did I say Vivo, Oppo? So like the thing about it is Cricket Teams is I always forget what's what. And one of the big reasons is we don't get a lot of these phones in the States. In the US. So like it's hard for me to keep up, although I'm trying. And I have my eyes on a Xiaomi phone that I want to get, but I might have covered it one day, Cricket Teams, but I don't know much about it. So I'm sorry. But maybe something I'll take a look at. You know, just depends. Okay, so let me see here. Kyle says, I wanted to get the new OnePlus wireless buds, but decided no, since they are an AirPods ripoff, and I don't buy anything that is a cheap Apple alternative / knockoff. You know what, Kyle? I mean, that's the thing too, is when they came out and I saw it, it's like, why copy that same design? I don't know what the point of that was. I mean, I guess we see it happen on phones all the time, but it literally just reminded me of AirPods that got made fun of when they first came out. And now another company is designing something very similar. And of all companies, why OnePlus? I feel like they have a good reputation and brand. And if they want to show their own unique design, why copy something so similar? But yeah, I don't know. All right, so let me see here. Deepak says, yeah, I hate companies when they copy Apple. Kyle says, which is why I got the Honor Magic Watch over the Xiaomi, Amazfit, or Fitbit watches. I don't even know any of those, Kyle. I have no idea. Let's see here. Sorry, there's so much chat. Guys, I'm not going to be able to go through everything. Cricket's asking any giveaways here. No, you're not going to find that. I don't make enough anymore to do any kind of giveaways at this point. Okay, so let me see here. Grant is here. Grant, I was just talking about you. I don't know if you heard me talk shit about you. Just kidding. I wasn't talking shit about you. Grant, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. I was talking about you, though. I was talking about you recommending the Huawei P30 Pro. Was that the one you recommended me? I think it was. Anyway, Grant, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Let me scroll down again, guys. I'm not going to get through everything. Deepak says Vivo, Oppo, and OnePlus are VVK. Deepak, you can say that to me every day, 10 times a day for the next year. And I don't know if I'm even going to remember that, but thank you. Redmi and Poco are Xiaomi. Why 2019 says I missed IQOO. That's right. Oh, there we go. Grant says, hey, Jerome, I'm not having any of those issues. With my Pixel Buds, any of these issues. So not sure how widespread bad units are. Squeaky wheels always get the most attention. I guess you're absolutely right. People who are going to complain about it are the ones who are having issues. I'm glad that somebody is speaking up that has a pair that is not having any issues. So like no audio cutouts either, I'm guessing. I mean, static hiss is one thing, but I'm just wondering if it cuts out at all, or like how good the range is, or if you're walking around and you have your Pixel in your pocket. I'm assuming the Pixel Buds then have never cut out on you, which if that's the case, that's great. I'm glad. And thank you for sharing your experience with it. Okay, guys, again, I'm not going to be able to scroll through everything. Delphi and Waz says, I'm actually sorry about the Team Android thing. Delphi and Waz, I'm just giving you shit. Guess I came late, but quick question. What's your thoughts about the OnePlus Z? So real quick, Delphi, what I meant earlier is like, all I meant is like, hey, like we can have, and so like I tell people this, I wear my bias on my sleeve. I am more of an Android person over an iPhone person. But the one thing I've been saying for a while now is, so in 2019, the iPhone 11 Pro was my phone of the year. I preferred that phone because it had a great battery, had a great camera, good performance. I don't care for the UI, don't care for the price, but build quality and a lot of the other stuff was really good on it. But I have been an Android phone or Android person for a long time, and I still want Google to bring something to beat the iPhone 11 Pro. Whether it be this year, I don't know. But what are my thoughts on the OnePlus Z? You know what? I had a whole video about it yesterday, a whole stream about it, but I will give you a quick summary. The OnePlus Z was on my radar, and it still is on my radar. And the fact that yesterday that they said that it might be around $350 got that radar like on high notice. The fact that they said it's about $330 in India is such a cheap price, especially if it's going to be coming with a Snapdragon 765, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage. I think it said even a triple camera setup. They're pretty good specs if it comes out at 350, even if it comes out at $400, because think about the competition at that price point. The Pixel 4a, which is going to have a lesser chipset, it's probably going to have I'm assuming the Pixel 4a is still going to have the better camera. So then now you're figuring out, now it really depends how good the cameras are on the OnePlus Z. But then we can also go the other way. Think about the Snapdragon 765G in the Pixel or in the OnePlus Z, and then the Snapdragon 765G that's in the LG Velvet that's being priced at $700. That's twice the price of what this OnePlus Z could be. That also might be twice the price of what the Pixel 5 could be, which is going to have that same chipset, apparently the same chipset, unless they put the 768G in there, but I don't know. My thoughts about the OnePlus Z though are positive. especially at that price point, especially if those specs are correct. I think that'll be a great performing phone at a great price that in a way will kind of bring what like I expected from OnePlus in the first place. It's not going to be a Snapdragon 800 series chipset, but at a $350 price point with those specs, I would take it. I would definitely buy one of those phones. Yeah. So Delphi and Waz, that's how I feel about it. So all right. Let me see here. Yeah, Deepak says $350 would be an immediate purchase. Team Verizon says, holy shiznits, $350 for the OPZ. Most interesting. Tempted. Yeah. Again, at that price, it's something that a lot of people are going to talk about. And at that price, you're going to see a ton of articles giving shit to like even the Pixel 4a maybe, or the Pixel 5 if it prices out at $700, because it's like, hey, these are the same chipsets. Why is it this? So like we could talk about that with the iPhone SE, right? The iPhone SE has a $400 price point with the same chipset as the iPhone 11, iPhone 11 Pro. But I think in a lot of ways you can justify the price. Again, it's hard for me to justify the $1,000 price on the iPhone 11 Pro, but a $400 price point on the iPhone SE versus the $700 price point on the iPhone 11, I think a better case can be made there. And then let's not even talk about next year with the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 pricing at $650. That's going to even be a better deal at that point if the rumors are right. So okay, let's move on. I want to do two more articles before I close this out. Unfortunately, like I would love to do like an hour and a half or even 2 hour show today, but I have a lot to do today. I have another video I need to work on for my other channel, and I have other errands to run today. So I want to, make sure we get the stories in here. So the next article here is from Fandroid that's talking about HTC to unveil its first 2020 smartphone on June 16. So it's official. HTC will unveil a new smartphone. It wasn't too long ago that sentences like that were written on tech blogs across the web every month or two. Unfortunately, these days it's a rare occurrence. The image below was shared to HTC's community site, teasing a June 16th launch of a new smartphone. So this right here, you can barely see what any of this is. It just looks like another phone from another company. But what we know here is it is probably going to be this HTC Desire 20 Pro, which is funny because I've mentioned this. The HTC Desire 20 is, I think, a lower end phone, lower end spec phone, but they're also calling it a Pro. And I can't remember who said it in the chat. I don't know who said it. But they said, yeah, it's Pro because it just means it's going to cost more money. Based on previous leaks, the design of the HTC Desire 20 Pro is expected feature characteristics of the OnePlus 8 on the front and those of the Xiaomi Mi 10 on the back. As the Desire name implies, the 20 Pro will be a mid-range device. So a Snapdragon 665, 6 gigs of RAM, 1080p or 1080 display. We can deduce that the HTC Desire 20 Pro will have will feature a 6.45 inch display. So a 665 is on the lower end. So it's not a 700 series chipset, which is what I was at least expecting, which is why it doesn't really excite me, because who knows what it's going to be priced at. So it says here, if HTC manages to get the Desire 20 Pro to market for $300, it could be a great alternative to Motorola's budget-friendly G series smartphones. But here again, guys, here's a thing about it. Look, HTC Desire 20 Pro, $300, Snapdragon 665, and then I was just talking about the OnePlus Z with a Snapdragon 765G at $350. If it's going to be $350, it might be $400. But in that case, I might just tell people, hey, just save that extra $100, because while while the $300 price point and $400 price point, or while the Snapdragon 665 and the Snapdragon 765 might not be the biggest difference right now, maybe you might not notice the biggest difference. You might notice that 2 or 3 years down the road, especially if you're buying a phone and like, let's say you're buying a phone for $300 and you want to keep it for 3 years, I might tell you, hey, maybe you want to buy the better chipset for $100 more if you plan on keeping it for 3 years, because I don't know how a Snapdragon 665 is going to fare 3 years from now. Doesn't the Pixel 3a have a 665? I don't know. So, okay. Anyway, is there anything else on it? Here's a photo of it. And yeah, that's it. New HTC phone. I'm not the most excited about it. I don't know if anyone here is looking to get it, but it isn't really, it's not on my radar, but I wanted to talk about it because we haven't heard from HTC in a while. And I want to close this off from this article from 9 to 5 Google. Why 2019 was talking about it. Grant says, need more mods in here. What is, oh, okay. Yeah, I probably do. Cricket Teams, I don't have a gaming channel. I'm trying to keep this tech here. I do have other channels, but I try to keep that stuff separate. So anyway, as I close off, this article from 9 to 5 Google is talking about the Motorola One Fusion Plus going official with a pop-up camera, which is great. I'm glad to see that. A 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which is gigantic, and a 299-pound price tag. I don't know what that converts to in US. Anybody? Can someone help me? 299, not pounds. Sorry, 299 euro price tag. I don't know what that equates to. So Motorola has officially announced the One Fusion Plus, an affordable Android smartphone that comes with some notable surprises for just 299 euro. The 6.5-inch device follows the Motorola One Hyper. So it has a FHD plus display. Okay, it has a Snap 730, 6 gigs of RAM, and a whopping 5,000 milliamp hour battery. So very similar to what I have on my Galaxy A71. My Galaxy A71 has the same Snapdragon 700, or has the same Snapdragon 730 chipset. It has 6 gigs of RAM, and it has 4,500 milliamp hours on its battery. And then it says here it will come with Android. What is that? Oh, so is it just saying it doesn't know? Is it 10? Anyway, built-in FM radio receiver, 3.5 millimeter headphone port, dedicated Google Assistant button, which is pretty cool, and a rear capacitive fingerprint sensor, and then a quad camera setup. Okay, so yeah, so it says here it'll be around $340 US. That isn't a bad price at all. Although I got my Galaxy A71 for, no, I got that for $365. So that was priced more. This is even cheaper. Is this Motorola One Fusion Plus coming to the States? Or is it just going to be internationally? Well, internationally for me. So select European markets. Motorola have really kicked into gear with affordable smartphones in recent months. So the One Fusion Plus adds to a growing list of good value devices with specifications to rival the Pixel 4a. Will it rival the Pixel 4a though? In terms, well, maybe in terms of battery, right? It'll have more cameras, but I don't know if it'll rival it in like the main shooter department. That's a different story. It might prove an interesting smartphone for European markets, at least for now. Let us know if you'd like to blah, 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 more like, you know, article stuff. So, yeah, Deepak says around $340. Grant says, wouldn't be surprised if the new HTC phone is made by someone else and HTC just slapped their name on it. That's actually a really good point. Who knows? That's I never thought about that. Yeah, that would kind of suck too, because if that's the case, then what's the point even talking about it? Grant says Moto, too many phones. Yes, too many phones. That's Moto's problem at this point. Moto, I think, can still, it seems like though Moto knows how to put some stuff out. I just don't know whoever's deciding all of these other things that's coming out with it. I think that's the issue there. I mean, there are probably a host of other issues, but that's maybe for another day. Cause yeah, I think that's a whole other can of worms. So, Anyway, guys, at this point, I think I might start closing it off here. Real quick, guys, if you are just coming to the stream, feel free to like the stream. Liking the stream helps me in an algorithmic kind of way, aka I think it helps people find the stream find the chat. Please feel free to join the chat, engage in the community, have a conversation. We talk shop, talk tech here. And if you guys are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I do stream weekdays, Monday through Fridays. I will say this again for people who haven't been here. I am now streaming at 2 p.m. Central on the dot, punctual as shit from here on out indefinitely, always. At this point, just to keep consistency, I think that will help me in my routine as well. But 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. And then real quick, before Cricket Teams, man, you gotta chill. I'm gonna chill you right now. I think somebody else did. Yeah. Anyway, no, that was me. So yeah, that's Cricket Teams. I appreciate you stopping by, man, but you need to kind of chill with the spam in there. So always come if you want to come and talk about phones and tech. It's cool. But again, real quick before I go, if you see people in the chat with green in their name or a red Chicago star, that is a badge, and that is because they are a member of the Phone Jerome fam squad team, and you can be one too. For as little as 99 cents a month, you will get green in your name, you'll get a red Chicago star, you'll get to use custom emoji, and you'll get your name on the intros and outros of every single one of my live streams. Again, you could do this by clicking the join button right here, and if you can't find that join button, all you got to do is go to youtube.com/phone Jerome/join. And I think that's it. I do want to thank everybody today, especially people who super chatted. My members, the Phone Jerome fam. I got to get used to saying that. I don't know if that's something that I'm going to keep. That's just different to say. And then everyone who just stopped by, who engaged in chat, who liked, who commented, just appreciate you guys stopping by as always. I think other than that, that's it. I will be back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central. I will be here on time. Catch me then. Guys, thank you so much again for joining. We'll do it again tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have more news. I'm just prepping the outro here. Bye, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Take it easy.